So now in this video, I'm just going to do a quick update. I did finish pretty much fully charging these batteries. I set my power supply to 14.4 volts. The charger I'm ordering is 14.6 volts and a current of a maximum of 1.5 amps. The charger I got is a 1.5 amp charger. That's the main reason why I set it to that. In the video I did last video, half the time I didn't do this much current, but it was taking way too long. I bumped up the current, and even then it was taking way too long. I finally topped off the one I was doing in the video later on, and then the other battery I charged, just setting it to this setting, and it went a whole lot quicker. But in any case, we're going to measure the voltage. It's been overnight now, and so I topped them both off about the same time. One of them, though, I did have a lot less current that was being pumped into it when I noticed it wasn't constant current anymore. So at some point, the battery voltage is high enough, it's got enough stored charge where it's not going to accept that full current at that voltage, and the current rapidly drops. And at some point there, you should turn it off. And so I think one of them was like 0.05 amps. It was like 50 milliamps or something, quite a bit lower than the other one. And the other one, which was the one I believe it's this one, that I showed in the last video, had more current. So I think I topped off the one I hadn't charged yet, all in one process. And then I finished topping off the one I used in the last video, which I believe, I already took the voltage measurement, I believe was this one. But in any case, the one that I topped off first, that I hadn't touched before, was the 0.05 amps, and then the second one was like 0.25 amps. So a lot more current was still going into it, and so I believe that's going to be the one we see with the lower voltage. Otherwise, if you completely charge them, you should have the same voltage. Now again, this is not a how-to video. These are new batteries for me. They just came in. I have charged other lithium iron phosphate LiFePO4 batteries in this way, and it went quicker with those other batteries. I don't know, maybe your initial charge takes longer or whatnot. This is a learning process for me. It's not complicated though, but there's a lot of videos about lithium iron phosphate batteries, so watch those, and I'm going to try to make better ones later on where I make it more easy to understand. So normally I use this power supply for 5 volt circuits. I need less than 20 milliamps of current. So I set the power supply back to that. That is my default setting for this power supply, because again, that's what I use the most. So first we will measure the voltage of the battery on top and see where it's settled at. And so it looks like it's settled at 13.7. Maybe it's still working its way down a little bit. I don't know. I was always, from reading, that it should usually settle down to like 13.6 volts. And then we come over here, and this one, it's 13.39 right there. So they've been holding steady. I first measured them like an hour ago. They had the same voltage. So I think they're completely settled right there. That 14.4 that I charged them to. Current was still going into them though. So I'm assuming the one that's lower didn't have all that extra current pumped into it. I believe this one might be the higher voltage because it was pretty much done letting current come into it. These units do have BMSs though that may influence certain things, and so maybe because I charge them in different ways we ended up with a different voltage, and I don't know, but ideally I would have used that one charger until it automatically shut off, the one that I ordered. It should arrive tonight. But in any case, I thought I'd do a bonus video where we look at the voltage the next day here. I was expecting both of them to be 13.6 volts. So there's probably a good reason why one has a different voltage than the other. And so that's why I'm making videos like this, just to show there's a learning process to this. You can read all you want and everything, but until you actually get your hands on them and test them out and use them and stuff, it doesn't really all sink in until you actually experience it for yourself. So hopefully you enjoyed watching that. I recommend buying like littler batteries before you buy the big ones, and just do a little practice stuff with them. Pretend like it's a bigger system or whatnot, but it costs less money and you can experiment. You'll learn a lot, and it'll help you avoid making mistakes later on.